Just like any other good RPG, Dragon's Dogma 2 has a plethora of side quests and little secrets hidden away for you to find and explore and obviously utilize their unique rewards. And today I'm going to be highlighting one particular side quest in the game that gives you access to a secret merchant that gives you access to some late game armor and weapons, all at a discounted price. So let me show you what you need to do to unlock it. The side quest actually starts all the way back in Vernworth, as you need to speak to a certain guard who is roaming the front courtyard outside of Vernworth Castle. This particular guard is called Roman, and as I say, he can be located roaming around this particular area, and then once you find him, he'll then pull you to the side to talk about restoring a particular sword, being the Regalia sword. Roman is essentially the singular person guarding this very valuable sword, but it needs repairing, and he's asking us for our assistance to bring it to the only blacksmith that can do that. And you probably guessed it, that is going to be Brokkr. So once you've spoken to him and exhausted all his dialogue, you will then be given the quest Gold Still Cold Forge, and that is going to start your progress to get this secret merchant. From this point on, all we need to do is work through the game and get to Brokkr, where we can of course visit Brokkr in Brokkr's Smithy. Speak to him here for the first time, and he will unfortunately explain that he has put down his tools and is no longer intending to pick them back up, and therefore is not going to restore the Regalia sword. But luckily for us, the apprentice here, Sara, was listening in and is more than willing to help us. At this point, Brokkr will be triggered to leave the smithy, with Sara asking you to stay behind, in which case she'll then help you out. So all you need to do is wait for Brokkr to leave and then come back to the smithy when it's only Sara inside. Speak to her once again and she'll explain that the forge needs more fuel in order to successfully repair the Regalia sword. So we are then tasked with getting said fuel from a nearby cave, being Digger's Ruins. This will be updated in your quest log and you will get a marker on your map for it, but it is just literally outside of Brokkr. It's literally a 2-minute walk from the main town. The reason why we're coming to this specific cave is because we need to get a certain material, which is the Glimmercoal. As the name suggests, there are a few resources in this cave which essentially emit a green light, and those are the ones that we need to collect. There are about 15 of these glowing Glimmercoals in this particular cave, and like I say, it's the ones that are emitting at that green light that we need to pick up. There are other ones in the cave that don't emit light, and those are the ones that we don't need, and the best way to tell the difference is if you pick it up, you'll have that sort of golden border behind it telling you that it's the quest item. So just make sure that you definitely have that pop up when you pick up these coals, and essentially all you need to collect is 15. Sara is asking for 25, but I believe you can still progress the quest if you only give her 15. I gave her all 25. I don't know if there's any additional benefit to doing so, but from what I can tell, it doesn't really matter as long as it's at least 15 of them, which you can essentially get in one run. That will be enough for you to progress the quest. But if for whatever reason it bugs out and you can't do it with 15, just come back to Digger's Ruin, get the last 10 to max out the deposit of the Glimmercoal, and then you should be fine. So either way, you will only need to visit this cave 2 times max. Once you've given her enough Glimmercoal, she will thank you for doing so and try and obviously fix the Regalia sword. So what we need to do is let 24 hours pass in game. So if you've got the house here, feel free to sleep until the morning, or you can just use the bench to sit and doze off, I believe 4 times to get the full cycle. After either sleeping or waiting at the bench 4 times, you can then head back to Brokkr's Smithy to speak to Sara, where she will unfortunately tell us that she cannot get this Regalia sword fixed just yet, and will ask us to come back in the morning while she thinks of a solution. So again, you need to repeat the process of either going back to sleep and waiting until the morning, or using that bench to doze off 4 more times. And then after doing that process 1 more time, head back to the smithy and there will only be Brokkr inside. He essentially tells you that Sara has gone off to find a legendary forge in the hopes that that will be the key to fixing the Regalia sword, and then the quest will update to tell us that we need to go to the volcanic islands, more specifically the mountain base cave. Now I will just say this, if you're playing the game through and you've only just made it to Brokkr capital in your particular game, you will only have access to the volcanic islands relatively late in your game. You need to be completing the main quest to have access to this area, but once you do have access to the volcanic islands, you can then obviously make your way up them and head towards the mountain base cave. Again, once inside, all you need to do is just traverse all the way to the very end, where you will find Sara once again at the legendary forge, and after speaking to her there, you then just need to simply escort her to the exit. But just as a keynote, in this mountain base cave there are a few items that you can pick up which are very useful. One of which will be in this particular chest, which a lot of people say you need to throw yourself up to this ledge, when in actual fact, after speaking to Sara and heading your way out of the cave, you can just drop down it using the secret path. But either way, once you have access to that chest, you'll then get the Cinder Spine, which is a very good weapon. And then the more obvious one, when you're inside that forgery room, when you find Sara, there will be another chest to the side that has got the Molten Fury. Both of those chests will also have a nice healthy amount of gold. So just whilst you're here, make sure that you pick up all of the chests and all of the unique weapons that are inside them. But like I say, after speaking to Sara and making your way to the exit, she will thank you and then head her way back to Brokkr Smithy, and we of course need to do the same. And then for one last final time, we simply need to talk to Sara and Brokkr inside of Brokkr Smithy, to which Sara will repair the Regalia sword, give it back to us, and open up a brand new shop that we didn't have previously. Sara's shop will consist of the majority of the late game weapons and armor, and the best bit about it is it comes naturally with a 10% discount, where we of course helped her with her quest. She does become friendly towards us, and the other benefit to that as well is if you want to give her enough gifts, you can bump that discount up to 20%. So if you're holding a bunch of flowers or any other unique gifts that you can give to NPCs in this game, you can obviously give that to her and of course get an even better discount on these items. But even still, if you don't have the 20% discount, if you complete the quest by heading back to Roman and of course giving him the restored Regalia sword, he will then grant you 35,000 gold, which of course should be enough to cover you to get something from Sara's shop. So this quest gives you a nice amount of gold, obviously opens up a unique merchant, and of course gives you a load of XP along the way, and those are all of the steps in order to do all of that. So yeah, that is everything you need to know about this particular quest, guys. All I will say is that it will be something that you do relatively late game, but as I say, the weapons and the armor that are purchasable with this merchant are pretty much late game items anyway, so it is something that's worth doing just simply for the XP and the money alone, let alone having a discounted merchant. Hopefully this video has helped you out and given you a nice easy guide to follow for this, and if you have enjoyed it or you found it useful in any way, please do make sure that you hit that like button. And if you're new around here and you want to stick around for more Dragon's Dogma 2 content, obviously make sure that you hit that subscribe button. I've been playing it a whole bunch and I know I'm a little bit late to the party and people are already covering all sorts of content on this game. There will still be a few more videos like this, as well as the best weapon and armor for each class. So if you want to stick around for all of that, like I say, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And we also do a whole bunch of Elden Ring content which isn't going to stop, so if you're a fan of both of these games, then I guess there's 2 reasons to be subscribed. But either way, thank you once again for watching this video. Go and enjoy those discounted pieces of armor and weapons, and I guess for now I will catch you in the next video of whatever it is that we make. Bye bye.